Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's episode is a surprise episode, but I've been having a conversation with this guy in the comments, right? And obviously, you know that I'm not doing this from 20 years' experience. So when someone comes by and says, "Hey, I've got a good idea," take a look at this. He's got a really good idea. Back in the episode number 27 comments, MKOZL guy says that he's essentially using the character movement component to control this tag. And he had a crude method, but then he said that he tested this other method and it worked beautifully. So I said, let me test this method real quick, and if it does, then it actually resolves a bug that happens with high latency and how the code is written. And I'll show you what it resolves right now. Is this character right here is if I just tap it, when the tag is replicated back from the gameplay effect, the second tag is replicated from the gameplay effect. I do that. So if I spam this, then I get like this double action. I get this double action just on the locally predicted client because he's doing that. But on the server and on the rest of the other ones, it's not. It doesn't spam like that. Right? It doesn't spam like that, but it does on the locally predicted client. So his solution also fixes that. So we're going to just go ahead and implement that real quick. We're going to come into the C++ classes, RPG systems, into the character, and a new C++ class that's going to be a character movement component. And we'll just call this RPG character movement. And we'll just put this under components. All we need to do is make a public section and then say virtual void. We're going to override crouch, and then virtual void, we're going to override uncrouch. And we will generate definitions for these. And all we're going to do is just get the ability system component. So view ability system components, pointer, ASC, and we'll set that equal to uAbility system globals get ability system from the get pawn owner. That'll get the character who owns this right here. We can say ASC add loose gameplay tag of the RPG gameplay tags, player, state, crouch. And then in the uncrouch, we can just redo the opposite, where we just, instead of add, we just call remove loose gameplay tag, like this. But in order to use this character movement component, because the character movement is hard coded to the character class, right? So we have to go through and we got to do something a little bit in each character. So I need the character base, the RPG, and the enemy system, the enemy character. We need an object initializer, so we'll need a const f object initializer reference that we'll just call object initializer. Oops. Object initializer. And then we'll just copy this because this is going to be pasted everywhere. And we'll do that. And then we come to the next line. And then I just call super with the object initializer and leave it at that in the character base. In the enemy base, we do the same thing. We'll post it here. We'll post it here. We'll come here. And then we'll call super with the object initializer. Oops. But in the character, I need to post it here. But in the character specifically, when I call super, if I take the object initializer, I can say set default subobject class, and the return value is a reference to the self of that object initializer, so I can just use it as the input still. And what I'm going to do is take the RPG character movement, and I'm going to set that to the character movement component name. And now this will be the RPG character movement for our character, for the character movement. And then we're just going to rebuild and get back in the editor. Okay, now that we're back in the editor, what we could actually do is just clear out this ability a lot. I don't need the crouch effect anymore. I don't need this crouch tag. I don't need the crouch tag. I don't need the crouch effects. And then we can move this. Now I still need the wait crouch clearance or the wait overhead clearance. You still need this for applying the tag versus not applying the tag, because it calls uncrouch where it removes the tag. if you just end the ability without waiting for this. So you still run into the problem where you can stand up through collision if you don't have the wait crouch clearance. So we'll need that, but that means I could just delete these functions and delete these. And I don't need the owning ASC anymore. I just need the character. I could delete this, and now our ability class just got a lot smaller. Oh, and my async task is not in the task, so we'll just put it in the task. So our ability just got a lot smaller, but at the same time, it just got a lot more accurate. So now I'll hit play, and I'll take a look here, and I'll hit crouch, and I got the same thing, but when I spam it, see how it's not, I'm not getting any double of the movement. And I'm not getting any double of movement on the client with the lag like that.